I actually do recommend that you take cheat days. It's probably not what you expected to hear, but here's the trick. You need to learn how to manage your triggers and use your buffers so that when you are on the carnivore diet, you take the edge off of feeling restricted, but you do not go off track. So here's a guide to how to cheat on the carnivore diet. So first, let's talk about buffers. Buffers are things that you can add to your carnivore diet that help you feel like it takes the edge off of restriction without actually taking you off track. You might hear people say, why do you need to cheat on the carnivore diet? Come on, be disciplined. But let's be realistic. Let's make this diet accessible and let's satisfy that psychological need to just do something a little naughty. Here are the carnivore-friendly cheats that you can implement in your diet without going off the track. One of my favorites is using hard cheeses. So just a little bit of Parmesan or hard cheddar cheese, put it right on your eggs as they're frying in the pan. It's so delicious and nutty, and it's not enough carbs to knock you out of ketosis, and it gives you some extra flavor while you are eating carnivore. The next one is adding a spice or a seasoning. This is pretty low impact and it adds some flavor to your meals. So maybe it's something like an onion or garlic powder or a little cinnamon to your coffee. Again, this is pretty low impact and it adds some excitement to your routine. Another cheat that I employ on a daily basis is having a nice decaf latte from my Nespresso machine, maybe adding a little cinnamon, adding a little brown butter bite to it, or some heavy cream. That's a really nice way to add some richness and a little bit of an afternoon treat when you're used to having one, you know, when you usually would go for that muffin or pastry at 3 p.m. You can then make yourself up like a little carnivore treat, have some cream, heavy cream, whip it up and add a teeny bit of vanilla bean or vanilla seasoning and cinnamon, and you have like a little sweet treat. But I also, instead of using the heavy cream, I like to just take a brown butter bite out of the freezer when I'm feeling like I want some sort of treat after a meal, and that just is just the right amount of a buffer to make me feel good. So those are treats that give you a nice little psychological break without having an impact on your goals with carnivore. Now let's talk about triggers. These are the cheats that people tend to use and it completely derails them. So if your plan is to be on the carnivore diet Monday through Friday and then cheat on the weekend, I wouldn't do it. If you are going to have a sugary treat, something that is going to spike your carbs, something that's going to spike your blood sugar and insulin, you are going to be potentially increasing your cravings and having a really hard time not having more. Remember that sugary carbs stimulate the reward center in your brain and make you want to go back for more and more. If you want to cheat with a processed food like chips or crackers, just remember that those things are full of carbohydrates and seed oils, which can cause inflammation, and then you are left with feeling pretty lethargic, pretty bloated, and craving for more. Keto packaged snacks can feel like a safe food, but even though they are low carb, the sugar substitutes and carbs could have you craving and dealing with digestive issues. Those sugar substitutes can keep your sweet tooth active and leave you wanting more. So if you find yourself needing a break or craving variety, go ahead and add in those really nice carnivore buffers to give you some excitement into your carnivore lifestyle. Let's learn to not use those common trigger foods so that you do not derail your progress physiologically, mostly on the carnivore diet. Remember that this journey is all about managing your mindset as much as it is about managing your food. So stay in control by using the right cheat foods so that you don't get off track and have to manage the aftermath of a really awful cheat day.